Hey, hello, sir.
Hey, how are you?
And the question is, what would you do if you got elected about the pension system? And what about the teachers that have been working without contract?
The first thing I would do is work with the teachers and get them a contract. I mean, it's, you know, we have a lot of young kids out there. In fact, I see them in my building across the street. I run the recycling for Rhode Island education system building, and they come in and they're buying school supplies, and they've got this big smile on their faces, and they've all got the backpacks on their back, and they're really happy to go back to school. And then we've got a group of people out there, 2,000 of them, that don't know what their contract is, or don't know whether they will have a contract for the first day of school. Contracts in this city should not be negotiated at the 11th hour. Contracts should be negotiated 6 months before we reach that point, so that people can sit down at the table, discuss those things that are working, those things that aren't working, come to consensus within them, and work forward so that no one is left in the dark as to what's in a contract. When I was assistant superintendent and superintendent, many people don't know, but Providence had a teacher's contract that had 181, 183 days of school, and 187 days of school in 3 years, 3 successive contracts, because we wanted to increase the school day. We wanted to increase the amount of instruction that the students had in the classroom. And little by little, since that point, all of those benefits or all of those contract provisions have been given away for the sake of dollars in it. And now we take great pride in saying, oh, we got 5 extra minutes in the school day with this contract, or we got 10 extra minutes in this contract. That's minimal when we were talking days back in years ago. No contract should have to be negotiated at the 11th hour. And to say that they're going to meet this week to negotiate a contract, to me it's too late. There are a group of people out there that are saying, I don't care what you do, I'm not going to support anybody in the school system. It's just a negative coming back. And yet you've got these kids with bright, shiny faces wanting to be in school. With regard to the unfunded pension liability, you know, the big thing that's floated out there is, well, let's sell our water so that we can contribute $400, $500 million to bring down the unfunded liability. The dollars in this unfunded liability are staggering. An actuarial study says that if everybody retired, with the people that are working upon their retirement, we will have a $1.3 billion price tag on a pension system. And right now we have $340, $350 million to offset that $1.3 billion. So when people talk about the pension system being funded 26%, that's where your 26% comes from. The amount of money you have on hand versus what the actuarial studies say that we will owe if everybody retires. This city this year is paying $83 million to fund that pension system. $83 million. And the entire city budget is $757 million. So $83,757,000, that's over 10% of the city budget is going directly in to fund the pension problem. The solution, according to the mayor, is to sell the water, or to create a different type of structure with the water. I've been around too long. You can't convince me that if something is sold for $300, $400, $500 million, that all of that money is going to go from here into this pot and pay down the pension. It just doesn't happen that way. At least in my study, at least in my lifetime, it has never happened that way. It's always, okay, we've got $500 million, we can put $400 million there, we can pay off this for $20 million, we can do this for $30 million, we can do this for another $30 million, and all of a sudden you have nothing left. And whatever you pay down with that money, if you do not continue with your contribution of that $80 million a year, we go right back up to the 1.3 or some number higher than that at the end of 4 years. So you're buying 4 years' time with that contribution. My recommendation is that when you have a city budget in place, any new monies that come into the city of Providence don't go directly to the general fund to show a profit for the city of Providence. but rather go into an account that directly at the end of the year goes to paying an additional amount towards that pension deficit. We had the issue of speed cameras come up in the city. Speed cameras, they gave out 36,000 tickets on speed cameras at $95 a piece. Every one of those speed cameras has cost the city $2,970 per month. So we're paying for those speed cameras on the street. Every ticket that you pay for with the speed cameras, $7.50 goes to the company that put in the speed cameras. And in addition, the person that sold us the speed cameras gets $5,000 a month. So you tell me where the benefit is on this. Not there. Not going to be there. And if the goal is to give no tickets whatsoever out because you've solved the problem of speeding around schools, then you have the speed camera sitting out there that's still costing you $3,000 a month. And the person who brought it in still costing you $5,000 a month. So now from making whatever money you're going to make from the tickets, you're losing $50,000 a month on the speed cameras. Every excess dollar that comes into this city should not go to a rainy day fund, should not go to show that we have a positive cash flow within the city, but should go towards paying down that pension deficit, no matter what the amount is. We've had these bird scooters that come into the city that were just dropped off here, just like from heaven. These 300 scooters just came and were put on every street corner, and you know, someone was going to take care of them. And nobody knew what the contract was until I asked the question at one of my debates and says, how much are those bird scooters bringing in? The next day there was an article in the newspaper. Oh, the company has to pay $50 a piece for a license for each of the bird scooters and $1 a day for the rental of it that the city gets. That was in excess, it came out to I think $177,000 that the city was making off of the bird scooters. That wasn't in the budget. Whatever monies that were made there should go into a special fund to help pay down the pension deficit. The irony of the story is, once the company found out that they had to pay all of this and get all of the certificates from the city, they picked up all the bird scooters and left. And it's happened in every city that they've gone into. South Carolina was another city that these scooters were put into, and it failed there too. So it's a big problem. I'm not saying that it's not an issue that we shouldn't be concerned with. And if we don't continue funding it to the level that we're funding it, if we drop 1% more on this funding level down below 25%, then it's some problem that we are not able to deal with as a city. Will a city go bankrupt? I believe that we've definitely passed that bridge once before when Mayor Tavares was in office. We've gotten a little bit better with it over the years, but it's certainly, with $84 million coming out of the budget, a problem that we can hit again. Does that answer you? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry I'm so long-winded, but that's the passion of mine, because I don't want to see the city fall into bankruptcy.